Jesus, hell. It's fucking... I'm never gonna get used to this. I swear to God. Oh, I swear to God. Never gonna get used to this. Am I doing okay? Let's, let me get situated here. Hi. We're just loading things up. Get my headphones in here. Oh, it's magic, you know. Watch me get fucking copyright struck for that. All right. We're just loading things up. Well, yeah, I've been out for a bit, so I fucking hate chat. Can I just get rid of chat entirely? Maybe that's something I can work on next time. I don't even know if that's true. Do I hate chat? Do I? Sometimes. So I took November. I'm never gonna use it. So I took November off. It's been a real hectic time. A real bizarre. Let me get the mic up here. A real bizarre, hectic time for me. A few life changes. Seems to be like every fourth episode of this show seems to be that I'm saying that. We got big life changes. Real hectic. Things are going on. Things are happening. You know, life moves. Life flows. Life is a river, and we're just leaves, or you know, whatever. I hurt my eye. It's the second time in 2 years that it's happened, and not stoked about it. I don't think I look bad with an eye patch though. I think like it's all right. It's a little, it's awkward, and I have trouble getting used to it, but I don't think it fucking looks bad, right? But so what happened this time was I it's so fucking stupid. I got soap in my eye. There's more. I got soap in my eye, and I tried to get it out, you know. It wouldn't come out, and I kept rinsing it, and I rubbed it with a towel that I have that I've had for a long time. It's not a soft towel anymore. It's been through many a shower, and it must have scratched it, because all that day it felt like there was something in there, and I kept like poking at it and fucking with it. And then the next day I woke up and it was just like inflamed, and there was a lot of light sensitivity, and I had to wear an eye patch at work, and I work with a lot of hot liquids, and I was spilling shit everywhere. So fun. I actually don't think I need to wear it right now. Look at that fucking beautiful mug. Look at the fucking Tommy Two Eyes here. Anyway, I don't know. I don't think I look bad with an eye patch. And I mean, like I said, this is the second time in 2 years that I've had to do something like this, because I'm just not careful. I don't. I take care of myself, but I'm also like clumsy and stupid. Anyway, I took November off. Not purposefully. I just kind of like every week was something going on, something happening. I've been entirely overworked. I've been working open and close in this restaurant basically every day for quite a while at this point. That's just how it goes, you know. So let me just we're gonna finish getting ready here. Anyway, I hope that you are doing okay. I hope that your night is okay. I hope that your month has been okay. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving with the people you love. Let's see. There were a couple of times that I had written up the things I want to talk about on the show. There's been some very cool stuff that's happened in the last month. Every week there's cool stuff, so of course there's stuff in November. There has been some cool stuff that I want to talk about. I never got to, and we're not going to discuss it because by now it's old news to anyone that would watch this show anyway, so we're not going to worry about it. I think the biggest thing that happened and is continuing to happen, or to be far more accurate, has not happened, is the second UFO report is still not out. I've heard possible reasons why, and I haven't dug too much into it. Like I said, I have been very busy. Possible reasons why being that it was laughable. What was offered was essentially a fucking joke, and seemed to backtrack on a lot of things that the first report talked about. And we'll get into what I think should be done about it and what other people think should be done about it a little bit later in the show. Well, I guess on Sunday, so not too much later. But it doesn't instill a lot of confidence that we keep doing this, that we keep pushing back the goalposts, so to speak. So I mean, that has been a constant thing, because that was supposed to come out on October 30th or 31st, and a lot of people, myself included, thought it would be October 28th. Yeah, we've got nothing, so it's interesting. Anyway, moving on. Let's get right into it. Let's do the grow down. Bow. And it is Sunday. So Sunday, like I said, still no report. That's my first note. My second note. I shit on this field a lot, but Linda Godfrey has died. Linda Godfrey was an excellent researcher. She started as a small-town reporter, and she was the researcher who wrote The Beast of Bray Road. I know I shit on the topic a lot, and don't worry, I have stuff for tonight also. But she, there were reports of a creature, a dogman, a beast, a werewolf, in this little town on this road called Bray Road, and she went out there kind of like expecting to debunk it or to find out that it was a wild dog, and became a full-on believer. And she wrote a fantastic book, Beast of Bray Road. She has done a lot of research in the field. If you are looking for what you might consider legitimate research into that field specifically, Linda Godfrey's work is an excellent place to start. But she passed, so R.I.P. Linda Godfrey. You did great work, and it's always sad to see one of the good ones go. But we thank you. We thank you. Especially those fucking nuts over at our dogman, which we will get to. I'm serious, though. I'm serious. Go read Beast of Bray Road. It's a fascinating read. And watching Linda's journey from skeptic to believer is also very fascinating. It's in ways, it reminds me a lot of Hynek's journey from skeptic to believer. Although hers was much quicker and with a much more bizarre phenomenon. So, But after that, let's say, moving on. Let's, I want to talk a little bit more about this horse shit with the United States kind of just, do we go back and forth? Why do we keep saying this is happening, now it's not this, and then now it's not this, and no it's not? And a lot of the thought behind what's happening is that some people think there's too much information getting out, and so agencies will pull back, and then they have too much influence, and then they'll pull back, and blah 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 blah, and it's this big nonsense game. Something that I've discussed on this show and elsewhere, and that I've seen other people discuss, is there are countries that Mexico, for example, Canada, France, Italy, Ukraine currently, who have been very open about things and who have released their own reports and their own data, their own observations. So the question that I saw very plainly from user Binky Smails over at RUFO: should we ignore the US for disclosure and focus on other countries? It seems telling the truth in the US regarding UAPs is just about impossible. There are so many hurdles, not even Congress makes any real progress. Is it time for ufologists to focus on disclosure from other countries like Brazil or Japan? Yes. Yes, absolutely. The French report we talked about last year or the year before, from 10 years ago, had more fascinating information than the American report from last year. We should absolutely be focusing on other countries. The U.S. is going back and forth, and yes, I know that the U.S. is like the world superpower currently, and they have a lot of influence over what gets said, what doesn't get said, but so many other countries are just flat out telling you details that the U.S. flip-flops on. We should absolutely, no question, be paying attention to other countries. Why wouldn't you want all available information, right? Why wouldn't you want to hear from every single source you could? What makes the American source more valid than, say, the French source? Is the French source not legitimate to you? Is Mexico not legitimate? Is Canada not legitimate? Why wouldn't you listen to these other reports? Why would you not take them as seriously as the American report? In my opinion, I would take Canada's report or Mexico's report more seriously than the US, based on the history of flip-flopping and fucking horseshit. Yes, we should be paying more attention to other countries. But moving on. I got a lot of shit from Reddit. Sorry. Why did that reload the same thing? Hold on, wait a second. Saw this video also on RUFOs that day. Saw this while driving. Anyone explain? My note here, I didn't remember what it was. My note just says, yes, I can explain this. So, let's see. Volume up. Full screen this mother. Here we go.
Yo, what the fuck is that? The shit hasn't moved. Yo. I'm trying to drive right now. I'm a fucking
flag in this fucking size.
It literally has 3 fucking things. 3 fucking lights on that bitch. Dude. What the, oh shit. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Holy shit, what the fuck is that? What the fuck?
Okay, so I do remember seeing this video.
Yo, what the fuck is that?
And initially you look
shit
for
hasn't
nav lights.
moved. Yo.
And I don't remember seeing any here, but it is an odd aircraft, not sure what. Red blinking light. Oh, did I miss a red blinking light? Did I? That's unlike me. Usually I'm right on. This
I'm trying to.
This what the fuck is that shit is annoying. Let's just watch this without the sound. Oh, I saw it. Okay. It's going back. Ready? Oh, where'd it go? I swear to God, I just saw the goddamn red blinking light. Oh, I saw it again, I think. Okay. Let's see if someone identifies it. C-17 with landing lights on. The comment right below what I was looking at. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, that looks pretty much exactly it. And if it was coming dead on, it would have looked like it wasn't moving. This person says if it, they're talking about extraterrestrials or whatever, and like they could just slap a blinking light on the bottom, and 99% of people would just dismiss it as a plane. I fucking really can't stand that line of thinking. That why hide? Why? That's such a human way to look at things. Assuming they're extraterrestrial. Explain mortgage rates to ants. Like, it's an entirely different way of thinking. I really cannot stand when people assign human like logic to things like this. Well, there you go. Moving on to Monday, we get, oh boy, going over to launch site. Phantoms and Monsters. This is a wild one. I remember reading this. Bigfoot struck and decapitated on Ontario, Canada highway. Witness interrogated by men in black. Hot jiggling damn it. That is certainly a headline. We're going to read this whole motherfucker. I got nothing to do. Matt Kanga was a German immigrant who was working in Ontario, Canada over the Christmas holidays back in 2018 when he had his weird encounter. He shared it with the Surreality podcast. That's not a good name for a podcast. It reads terribly. It looks good, but it reads terribly. Who confirmed that there indeed was a road closure in the very place in the same time period where Kanga indicated the accident happened. What I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. My name is Matt. I'm a 21-year-old guy from Germany, and I was taking a working holiday in Canada. This was always a dream for me to explore and experience this large and beautiful country. Can we just talk about how a working holiday sounds like a fucking nightmare? I mean, cool, you get to go somewhere, but yeah, capitalism. This was always a dream for me to explore and experience this large and beautiful country. It was really a pleasure for me. I arrived here in August and had the best time of my life until this Wednesday. But now, it's turning into an absolute nightmare. I always loved driving late at night, especially on relatively remote roads. That's why I chose to take the ON 502, I assume it means Ontario, northbound from Fort Frances to Dryden that evening. It was December 19th, 2018, around 11:40 p.m., on a long bent part of the road. Suddenly, a semi, with its hazards flashing, stood on the right side nearly in the ditch. I stopped in front of the truck and got out to ask the driver if I could help him. I immediately noticed that the left part of its front was really heavily damaged. The headlight and grille were broken. The hood was pushed backward and smashed. A bit of the windshield and everything was covered in blood. Only then I realized that there was more blood on the road as well. From what I could see in the dark with a small amount of light came from my taillights, his intact right headlight, and his marker lights. Oh God, he hit a bear! This is my first thought from the amount of damage I could see. I walked up to the driver's side door and knocked a few times. He didn't answer. At first I thought that perhaps he was going to get some help, but then I reflected that we were in the middle of nowhere and Dryden is like 50 kilometers away and that he'd more likely use his cell phone or a CB to call for help. I knocked again and no response. Then I opened the door. He was huddled back in the cabin. He was shaking. His skin was pale, like a dead person's, and he looked like he had so much fear and shock, as if he'd seen the devil in person. Can I help you? Looks like you had a really serious accident here. Are you injured? I asked him. No response. Hello, are you all right, sir? I'm not sure, he mumbled. Does anything hurt? No, but I hit it. I see that. I don't think that bear is still alive, to be honest. It wasn't a bear, he responded with so much fear in his voice. I got confused. Are there elk in this part of Ontario? I'm not a native, so that was the first of what I thought. I'm not a native, so it's the first one I thought. It's okay. You're in shock. Take a breath, I responded. Did you call? He didn't even react. I'm going to stop right here. Clearly I'm reading this like playfully out loud to you. I mean, this sounds like fiction. This sounds like this is written like fiction, like poor fiction, like I'm trying to get a writing career off the ground, but I'm not good at it. Fiction. I do not buy this. Well, let's keep going. I left him alone in his rig and got to my van to get my cell phone. I was glad that I even received service in this part of the province. I told the operator what happened, and she assured me that she was sending an officer and an ambulance to the scene. She asked me which operator the truck was driving. I couldn't give her an answer, but she said that there would be roadside assistance coming as well. I then hung up and went to the semi-driver to tell him that I called for help. The only thing he did was nod. I got my flashlight out of the car and searched for the dead animal. I was still convinced that he had hit a bear because I was very curious about what he really hit and determined to tell him that it was a bear. The blood was spread all over the road and I could see where the bear was flinching too. Then I saw its body. Holy crap, that is indeed a really large bear, I thought to myself. The creature was approximately 2.8 meters. The head was partially decapitated and its face wasn't like anything I'd ever seen before. It was like I was looking at a gorilla human type face. It was so unreal. The teeth looked like what you'd see on the great white shark. Its eyes were partly closed, but it was like you could see the pupils glow underneath. They weren't really glowing, but it's the best way I can describe it. It was some ape-human hybrid. Do you know when you get really uncomfortable all of a sudden? That's what I was feeling then. I don't believe in Bigfoot before, but I watched something about it a few years ago in Monster Quest. I couldn't believe what I saw, but I knew exactly what I was looking at. I never thought that I'd experience something like this my entire life. This can't be real. Where's the hidden camera? I hoped there would be a TV crew coming out of the woods to admit their hoax, but there was no TV crew. There I was alone with the truck driver and this thing. I went back to my car and I vomited into the road and sat in the driver's seat. I think it must have been the trance, and then in the distance I saw the emergency lights flickering. It was a police officer, or an OPP, Ontario Provincial Police. Patrolman. I can't recall it anymore. He asked me what happened and I told him exactly what I'm telling you. At first, he was very suspicious about my story, but I knew that he knew I was speaking the truth. He went back to his patrol car and radioed something in, then went to the trucker. In the distance, I saw more headlights, and the whole crew from the fire department and another police car showed up. The police officer was directing the men at the fire department to the rig like he wanted them to only take care of the broken semi and its driver. He then talked to the other police officer, and I could see that he went pale immediately. The second the first officer ended his sentence, I was absolutely sure about the fact that both knew that these creatures exist and that they have like a plan of what to do and not to do in cases like this, because none of them went to the place where I told the first officer where the body of this creature was located. It's a mouthful, but yeah, it's story time. The second officer came up to me and told me that I had to follow him to the police department for a full report, so I drove behind him to Dryden. At the time, we drove up to the city, maybe about 40 kilometers. A convoy of dark vehicles passed us at high speed to the scene where we were coming from. The junction on Ontario 502 and Ontario 594 was blocked, and no car was allowed to drive on the Ontario 502 southbound. Arriving at the police station, the officer took me to the interrogation room and offered me something to drink. I had to wait until someone arrives to interview me, and I had to give away my phone and my personal belongings first. I refused because I didn't understand why, but his voice got very specific and I handed over my things. After what felt like an eternity, a man in a suit came into the room. He looked really odd. A bit like an ill person because of his grayish skin, bald head, and sort of shrunken cheeks. He had a thick Quebecois accent, I love that word, Quebecois, and spoke gently and calmly without any expression at all. I had to recall all details of what I experienced, all my personal information, and the purpose of my journey to Canada, and he took fingerprints of me and even a sample of my saliva. I felt like a criminal, so ashamed and uncomfortable, like I'd done something horrible. Then I had to sign a document, like a non-disclosure agreement, but there weren't any coat of arms, banners, or stamps on it. After that, he looked dead in my eyes and asked me if I'd seen what I'd seen. I said yes. His tone got really stern, and he asked me again, and I knew that I had to decline his question. After that, he explained to me that they will know everything I do. It's crazy that they're so open about it. Then he left the room. Shortly after that, a female officer came in and gave me back my personal things and explained to me that when they checked my immigration information, the system informed that I have to leave Canada by January. Better a command that I must take a direct flight to Germany. My current ETA got declined, and I can't apply for any future ETA, and even my ETSTA as well. I don't know what any of that shit means. I can't believe it. Only because I've seen this thing, I can't travel to North America for the rest of my life. I am now on a blacklist like terrorists. When I turned on my phone, it sent me to the first instruction screen like when I first took it out of the box. The same with my laptop. So these people erased everything in my electronic devices to be sure there wasn't any information going public. All of my pictures are gone. They even placed all the things in my van upside down like they were searching for evidence. I'm really sure I'm being taped right now, and I'm lucky I could write my story about this until now, to be honest. I'm currently here at this disgusting A&W here in Marathon, and will drive back to Toronto. Now, I really don't know what to do from now on. I have to sell this van, cancel my insurance here, and get on a flight back home in only 6 days, and New Year's Eve is between all this. Please wish me all your luck. The truth must be spoken. I won't be intimidated by anyone, but I also won't risk my own life. Well, that's the encounter. I don't buy that at all. Is the story possible? Sure. I guess. I guess. I don't think it happened to this guy, though. The way he talks, the way he writes, the whole thing. I'm not buying it. The only other... You hear so many Bigfoot reports of like people shooting at Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or like trying to hunt them. And it never works out. The bullets go through them, they dematerialize, they turn into orbs, they fucking just blink out. You hear shit like that all the time. The only other time that I can recall off the top of my head of injured Sasquatch or any of those type creatures that I can recall off the top of my head, there's probably more, are the Mount St. Helens bodies. And I don't know, if you look up Mount St. Helens Sasquatch bodies, I'm sure you'll find it. Basically, there were reports of toasted Sasquatch bodies being taken out of Mount St. Helens when it erupted. But other than that, you always hear like, nope, just fucking went right through him, just phased out, just disappeared, blinked out, nothing happened. I mean, so that's like, even if that's just one detail that makes this not make a lot of sense. I do love the idea of French Canadian men in black, though. I'm French Canadian, so I think I like that. Anyway, Jesus Christ, that was a mouthful. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna disappear for 1 second. Also on Monday, Appalachian object. We're just going with whatever these notes say. Weird object hovering in a blizzard in the Appalachian Mountains. When was this? A few weeks ago in East Chatham, New York. I mean, I know where East Chatham is. East Chatham's not that far from me. I guess it's in the Appalachians. The Appalachian Trail, like, I guess. I really don't think of anything in New York as the Appalachians, but okay.
What's up, Pop? It's very similar to Link.
Yo, that is not a cell tower, bro.
That looks like a cell tower. At the top.
This is horrible sound. It's hard to tell.
Is that the top of a building?
No.
Is that a blinking light?
It definitely looks like some kind of structure.
Yeah, it does.
They make note that it looks like a structure, maybe. Let's see. Green on the left, red on the right. It's an airplane coming toward you. Always look for the lights. All right, easy peasy, I guess. Lastly on Monday, my only note is ghost vid. I haven't watched. Lol. Awesome. This one. This one's all right. We'll see. Hope this is new. Creepy CCTV captures guard attending to the ghost of a woman who died the day before. This is the guard? Where's the guard? All right, so we don't. It's like a non-ghost vid. He's like, to me the thing is like, clearly the door does open. I wonder what the backstory is, because he could just be fucking bored. Doesn't look that busy there. Yeah, see, this here is bored. He's just playing around. It's funny. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a fucking ghost. My instinct is that it's just a dude bored. Do you want to watch it again just so you can be like, here we go. Here, I'll watch it again. Yeah, I'll start at the beginning. Oh, look at this Sudoku I can't figure out. Oh, the automatic door's opened. Like anything can open this door. A fucking bird flies by. Come on in, man. I wish there was audio. I will say though that this movement of the chair right now seems odd. That's all. Okay, that's enough of that. Moving on. Moving on to Tuesday. We got more Sasquatch. We got a lot of Sasquatch stuff today. We've got Sasquatch sighting in Tennessee or shenanigans. I don't have a note on here as to what I think it is, so we're going to find out together because I have forgotten.
He just, do you see that? Do you see that? I'm afraid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tyler, did you see that?
Okay.
He just, do you see that? Do you see that?
Like,
I'm afraid.
my thought is it's a dude in a suit, right? So it's just kind of creeping, bending over, except for the long arm. That's the only thing. The arm seems long. Right?
Oh my God.
Everything else looks like a dude in a suit. Especially the way it's just like hanging out in this one area.
Oh my God.
They're like, Travis, make sure you just hang out near there so we can get a good shot of you. Don't know. Alright. Also on Tuesday, we've got, my note says, another clear dogman picture. Let's see. Alright. Alright. Linda Godfrey did not die for this shit. Come on. What's going on in my chat right now? Find love on the new dating site. My shitting fuck. Get out of here. 69 triple X fun. I'm fine. Thank you. Get out of here. There you go. Oh, I'm just reporting shit. All right. Anyway. Just give me 1 minute. I'm hanging out with you for like 2 hours a night. I'm allowed to check my telephone. My telephone. Okay, now we're back to it. Obviously, I think you can see that this is the clearest dogman picture I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. What the fuck? Why would you even post this on the internet? Why would you look at this picture and say, yep, that's dogman? Can you imagine the shit that Linda Godfrey had to deal with? Like, I assume she did like convention circuits, right? Or even just like people just mailing her shit like this. My God. It doesn't look like any of the dogmen that I've seen before. Are you kidding me, bro? Moving on. Moving on. So quickly. My note says screen capture. Is this why some people refuse to turn the news television off? Okay, I do remember this. This was actually a little fascinating. This is not paranormal, but I feel like it kind of is. It kind of touches on like the way our brains work, and I'm sure you know somebody who can't stop looking at their fucking phone or having a screen on. I've got fucking 2 of them right in front. I got 3 of them right in front of me. And there is a bit of satisfaction when I go home from work sometimes. Sitting in front of a screen will grant me some sort of satisfaction in some regard. Well, here is a study from let's see, Loose Hendricus. I don't know who this is. I don't know, but it's at the National Library of Medicine from the National Center for Biotechnology Information. Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. Okay? The abstract, which I'll just try to breeze through quickly or as quickly as you can breeze through a study's abstract. Physiological effects have been observed in a human subject in response to stimulation of the skin with weak electromagnetic fields that are pulsed with certain frequencies near a half hertz or 2.4 hertz, such as to excite a sensory resonance. Many computer monitors and TV tubes, when displaying pulsed images, emit pulsed electromagnetic fields of sufficient amplitudes to cause such excitation. It is therefore possible to manipulate the nervous system of a subject by pulsing images displayed on a nearby computer monitor or TV set. For the latter, the image pulsing may be embedded in the program material, or it may be overlaid by modulating a video stream either as an RF signal or as a video signal. The image displayed on a computer monitor may be pulsed effectively by a simple computer program. For certain monitors, pulsed electromagnetic fields capable of exciting sensory resonances in nearby subjects may be generated even as the displayed images are pulsed with subliminal intensity. So one of the things that I find fascinating about this is growing up as a kid, there was always the myth of subliminal advertising. You know, like you would backwards masking of audio, or like flashing of a word that was like too quick to see, but your brain catches it. And there was also the secondary myth that that was impossible and it could never really work. And then there's the fun truth, the not so fun truth, that they don't need subliminal advertising because all your favorite characters in a show drink Pepsi, and now you do too. But I find this extraordinarily fascinating because this is saying that you can hide stuff. Not necessarily an ad for Pepsi, but with a certain pulse of electromagnetic fields to make you think or behave in a certain way on your screen, on your monitor. I'm sure that won't be used for evil, right? Right? We don't live in a hell world. I'm sure it will only be used for good. God, that's so fucking depressing. But what is it, right? Hey! So as long as you're not feeling any of the effects described here, I would not worry about it. The observed effects include ptosis of the eyelids, relaxation, drowsiness, the feeling of pressure at a centered spot on the lower edge of the brow, seeing moving patterns of dark purple and greenish yellow with the eyes closed, a tonic smile, whatever that is, a tense feeling in the stomach, sudden loose stool, and sexual excitement. Ooh, the brown noise. A sexual excitement depending on the precise frequency used and the skin area to which the field is applied. If this is new technology, this is just the base, this is just the groundwork for something that 30 years from now, 40 years from now could be much more defined. Absolutely fascinating. Sorry, I have a friend who's having a tough time. All right, so now away from the government manipulating us through our fucking TVs or whatever the hell I'm actually getting at here. Let's move on to Wednesday. All right. We've got a bit of a recurring theme here on Wednesday. Now we've shown this kind of thing before. Pilots talking about their shit, the things they see in the sky. These are people in the sky who know what they're looking at, who see the shit every day, all day. We need to listen to pilots.
Until last night, I have never believed in UFOs or any sort of mythical, hypothetical, non-factual idea in my life. But last night, I went on my first red-eye trip from Vegas to North Carolina, and on the way, I saw some unexplainable things that have really started to make me think that maybe I don't know as much as I thought I knew. So now I'm here thinking, are UFOs real? I've never had that thought in my life. So I was flying with this captain, and he told me over the last 8 months, he has been seeing some things in the atmosphere that just haven't made sense. And lo and behold, in front of my eyes, we see these flying objects. These objects, first, they're bright like stars, but then they can, in an instant, fade out into nothing, or they can get dimmer and dimmer, and they move like they are moving around, not like a satellite, where a satellite moves in like on an axis or in orbits in rotation, right? These things are moving like super quickly. They're coming and going, getting brighter and dimmer, and they're at an altitude that's way higher than airplanes can be at. So for me, I live in the very real world where everything has an explanation. But what I saw last night could not be explained. You know, the captain said it's been the past 8 months that he's been seeing these things. He said that other pilots have noticed these at night. He says they're more towards like the eastern seaboard of the United States. So you see them more flying west to east versus east to west. He said you can still see them going east to west, but most of the time going east. And we both don't know what they are. He's gotten a couple pictures of them and how they've shifted positions in like mere seconds, which, you know, at first glance you would think maybe these are stars or maybe they are a satellite, but then they just start moving around and flying in formations like crazy in the middle of the night, and they come and go. I saw about 15 of them in the span of an hour, and sometimes 4 at a time, 1 at a time. It's just wild. So me, I'm still a skeptic. I think there has to be an explanation. I don't know if there's just things out there that's happening that, you know, the general public's just not aware of. Maybe it could be military activity. I don't know. But do you guys believe in UFOs? Do you guys believe in maybe even aliens? I don't know. I've never ever had these thoughts in my life until last night. So I definitely have some thinking and exploring to do. Let me know what you guys think. Are aliens, UFOs, the unnatural real?
I don't know what else to say. That I think he didn't believe in this sort of shit, which we know how I feel about hardline believing or not believing, and now he's questioning it, which I think is a great line, a great path, a great journey. You should be questioning it, absolutely. I also think it's funny. He actually does look a little shook. I think he's genuine here. But also on Wednesday, or whatever the hell day we're on, Wednesday, user uploaded a video deleted earlier today. Airline pilots citing racetrack light patterns. More pilots seeing shit.
Recording, we're past 48 north, 40 west, and there's an interesting and unusual light show straight ahead. So this is a recording, we're past 48 north, 40 west, and there's an interesting and unusual light show straight ahead. There's one, and as you can hear, air to air is pretty busy with chatter about it, so we're not the only ones seeing it.
I don't know if this is what they're seeing, or if this is a reflection of what didn't happen. but they're clearly seeing something. They're talking. They're clearly seeing something.
Crazy.
Oh, there it is.
He said 29 north?
49 north.
Oh, 49.
There's two of them.
Oh, that's what they're looking at.
Wow.
November 6th, Mike, November. We do see the lights right now. It's approximately 11 o'clock position. I would say 10 to 15 degrees higher.
Maybe we don't have better specifically.
4-1. They're slightly lower?
No, he said 10 to 15 degrees higher.
Higher, okay.
Can you give us one more coordinate hack on that? Just a minute, let me get you. Anyway, I'm going to Google it. Describe the movement again, please. Lights over the Atlantic.
There they are again.
Like a shooting star, but then 90, 100 degrees, go the other way.
Wow.
Right now we're in a position 46 north, 38. 46, 38 north and west, 35, 16.
Everyone's seen them.
So we're not
Is the
crazy.
light that gets very, very bright and then extinguishes very quickly? Is that the light?
Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them kind of zigzagging around there.
It is true, and sometimes it becomes very bright, but sometimes it's
So, all right, we don't have to watch fucking all 6 minutes of it. I know I watched half of it already. The whole point of all this, the whole reason I'm bringing up all these goddamn pilot videos. Again, listen to fucking pilots. They see that they're in the sky every goddamn night, every day. They know what's up there. They know what things should look like. And they're saying they're seeing shit. This goes back to the thing we were talking about earlier about listening to other countries. Canada released that fantastic fucking report about all the shit that their pilots sees, that their pilots see. Listen to pilots. Listen to other countries, for Christ's sake. All right. All right, stop being so fucking serious for a minute. My note here only says sucking on a chili dog. I can't fucking imagine what that means. Let's go suck on a chili dog. Oh my fucking god, we're back at lawn site. I feel like every time I go to a lawn site, who knows what I'm gonna get. Who knows? Especially because I don't keep good fucking notes. I write sucking on a chili dog as if that means anything. Oh my god. Okay, let's find out. Unknown humanoid feeding on live dog photographed in San Timoteo Canyon. Is that Timoteo? California. Look at this fucking thing. I mean, that's fucking creepy. I'll give you that. I don't know. An unknown humanoid was recently photographed in a tree while feeding on a live canine in San Timoteo Canyon in Redlands, California. What is this creature? I received the following report and photograph this morning. How long is this? I'm not reading a whole other fucking... Oh, shit. There's some shit here. It doesn't look like that. Oh, we'll read the whole thing. It doesn't look long. This photo was taken last week, 4th week of November 2022. This thing was in San Timoteo Canyon in Redlands, California. We could hear the dog, or coyote, it was feeding on, screaming in pain until it was dead. We could hear the bones crunching and the hair was standing up on the back of my neck. I immediately ran to the vehicle and locked the door, but my friend used his phone to take a photo with a flash to see what this awful noise was. This is the photo he took. He proceeded to attempt to shoot this thing, but it hissed at him and appeared to jump or fly away. That canyon has always given me a very eerie feeling. We asked some locals, but no one wanted to talk about it. A few said they just keep their doors and windows locked. Please let me know what you think. Is that true? Is that true? Can we look that up? San Timoteo? Let's see. I guess. I don't know. Paranormal. San Timoteo. Outlaw Ghost of San Timoteo. Best ghost of the... Yeah, it does look like there's some bunch of ghost shit there. I mean, there's ghost shit everywhere, though, right? It is a weird bugger. I mean, to me, it looks like just a dude with a towel on his head. He just got out of the shower. I don't know. I don't see a dog here at all. I don't see a dog here at all. There's a river valley canyon southeast of Redlands in the far northwestern foothills of the San Jacinto Mountains in the Inland Empire region of Southern California. One other incident reported to me from a specific pale crawler humanoid was seen roaming through the underbrush. Is this what has been seen? Okay, I didn't see that in the quick Google search that I did there, but you know, maybe. This doesn't look like a crawler. It's a little dark for a crawler. Maybe. I don't know. Thank you, Lon, for your site. Thank you for keeping me entertained. Moving on, lastly, on Wednesday, more cattle mutilation. Again, this is from the New York Post. Dozens of cattle slaughtered by mystery creature that left no tracks. 18 dead cows. This is from October. This is in Colorado. The last time we talked about a wave of cattle mutilation was in the Pacific Northwest, outside of Portland, I believe. This outside the town of Meeker in Colorado, some looked as though they were killed by wolves, but officials with Colorado Parks and Wildlife found no wolf tracks or evidence. At least 40 calves have died. The most likely scenario would be the following: an apparent canine attack may have triggered the onset of still inconclusive cause of death. They continue to investigate the causes of death, which, by the way, means that it was most likely not an animal. If it takes longer than 3 minutes to look at a body, and it's not apparent that it was a fucking wolf, it probably wasn't a wolf. While the case largely remains a mystery, a new theory, unrelated to wolves, has emerged. The cows may have also been infected with black leg, a disease caused by the Clostridium bacteria. Pathology results have not yet confirmed that this was the cause. After mentioning the possibility of it being caused by the disease during a November 17th State Wildlife Commission meeting, Black said a handful of calves sustained injuries consistent with a wolf attack, some had missing tails, and marks consistent with canine teeth. Okay, that's good. But only a handful. Officials have utilized aerial flights, howling surveys, and game cameras to look for wolves and wolf tracks to no avail. There have been no confirmed wolf reports in the area, only unconfirmed sightings, leaving officials confused and desperate for answers. We don't have a solid answer as to what happened, as is usually the goddamn case, right? Anyway, what is this spousal abuse going on here? Get out of there. All right, moving on to Thursday. What do we got? Oh my god, I really, honestly need better notes. This one literally, if you're following along in the YouTube notes, you'll see my note for the first thing on Thursday. Just says something. Great past Asa. Wonderful. I saw this thing that looked like it was hovering over the moon and Jupiter tonight. Moon, I assume Jupiter, and this is what, the thing? The very pixelated thing? That blob? What about this blob? What's that down there? That seems interesting too. This looks just like a light refraction. Let's see what the comments say. Download one of those apps. Point the camera at the sky and tells you which stars. Yes, definitely. Anyone who's looking for UFOs should do that. The moon, Jupiter, and Neptune were all close. Edit, not the answer. OP is talking about something else. Okay. Could you even see Neptune with the naked eye? Is that? I don't think that's even possible. It looked like a flat star. So a few people in here have seen it. A couple of days ago, sitting in my backyard patio, saw the view of the sky across me got very bright. Couldn't see much. The clouds moving incredibly quickly. Orion has left its distant lunar orbit and is on its return journey home. The spacecraft successfully completed a distant retrograde departure burn at 3:53 p.m. Central Standard Time, firing its main engine for 1 minute 45 seconds to set the spacecraft on course for a close lunar flyby before returning home. It was the burn from the Orion. Wild. Wild. That's awesome. That is excellent. Who is this? User Treetop Triceratop. Great work. Excellent work. That is what I like to see. Really, like, going and finding an answer. God damn. What a good one. Now, these people are saying that you wouldn't be able to see something like that. And they're right about you wouldn't be able to see a massive nuclear bubble. They're right about that. So how close was the Orion? I don't know. A lot of people, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that they saw something similar. It doesn't look like there's an answer. I guess that explains why my note was just something. Also on Thursday, we've got... Jesus Christ almighty. My note just says, you gotta be shitting me. Future Asa. When you are taking notes on this stuff, when you are trying to find things to talk about throughout the week, and you're copying and pasting links of stuff that interests you, and you want a little bit of a note there, write something better than you've got to be shitting me. Literally anything else. Say, you got to be shitting me, dash UFO / merman. Fucking, you got to be shitting me about you got to be shitting me. Come on. All right, let's go. Let's find out what it is. Let's go find out what it is. You got to be shitting me. Great, Asa. You fucking dork. Something I capture while remodeling a condo unit in Florida. Some background below. Can't wait. Florida's involved. I absolutely cannot wait. I'm so excited. Dude just closed the microwave. I don't even remember watching this.
It's okay, Kevin. Don't be scared. If you want to show me you're here, open the microwave again.
What?
You gotta be shitting me.
Oh, I was quoting the video.
As I freaking asked you to. Thank you, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell. Thank you, buddy. That. Okay. Explain that shit.
All right, I'm about to. Hold on. I want to see him close this again. I think the obvious answer is it's just a loose latch. Maybe he's timed it out so it takes fucking 6 seconds or whatever for it to pop open again. There is tape on it, though. It means it's probably a new microwave. Okay, Kevin. Who the fuck is Kevin? I need answers. It's the longest amount of time I've ever stared at a microwave without me. Yeah. This is the person in the video. Chest wrong. All right. The former tenant passed away in the bathroom, and his name was Kevin. There was never any kind of dark or threatening feeling or presence, only maybe a little sadness. Other than that, the atmosphere was light and only seemed curious or trying to gain someone's acknowledgement. I'm no expert on the paranormal, but I've always been told that telling them to go to the light isn't a guaranteed good thing to do. Correct. My only concern was to make sure my intentions were known to be purely peaceful, helpful, that I meant no harm, and I expressed my sorrow if he was saddened or confused by his state, and told him as gently as I could that if he was not aware, he had passed away, and he need not be afraid or sad. I told him that those I spoke to that knew him thought very highly of him and expressed nothing but love and respect for him, and he could be at peace now. It was after this video and after addressing him directly and saying those things to him that the activity seemed to completely stop. The microwave never opened again, and I didn't notice anything else to indicate he was still restless or trying to get attention. It's my hope that he understood and was at peace after that. The person approached it in a good way. I'll give them that, absolutely. Oh my fucking shit. I am not reading all that. Especially after reading all that stuff on lawn site. No way. I would look and see so he's doing a bunch of renovations. I would look and see the microwave open again after the second and third time being considered. Hey, maybe the former resident is still present in another form and is trying to indicate as such. So after speaking to my wife about what was going on, I drove on to get lunch. She suggested I try to record my phone and see if I can get the microwave opening on its own or however it was happening on video. Did it 6 times. Introduced myself, blah, blah, blah. It's interesting. I'm not gonna shred this one. It's interesting. The backstory is interesting. There might be something there. There might be. I know. I fucking shred videos with like images and shadows and fucking orbs and all that goddamn shit all the time. I know. And the microwave video, I'm like, maybe. I have pretty good intuition. Up next. Okay, so this is one I wanted to sort of dig into a little bit because this is not something I've ever heard about before, except for a slightly related thing. My daughter has been complaining of seeing sketch people, and I thought she was having visual hallucinations, but today I saw the exact same thing. For background, my daughter has some mental health things going on, and I thought she was having a new symptom of visual hallucinations. This had never been an issue in the past. She said that 3 sketch people were looking at her while she was wide awake one night and came to me immediately about it. She said she knew they weren't real and that they didn't look human. They looked like paper. They had faces but also didn't really have faces, and they didn't scare her or say anything. They just stared. 5 a.m. this morning, I woke up from a nightmare to my pitch black room. I thought I was still dreaming. I saw these 3 features appear out of the dark. Their face was there, but not there at the same time. Their skin almost looked like clay, and their eyes and mouths seemed to morph and move, almost like they were made out of ice cream, very slowly melting. They had no body, no expression, no feeling. I felt no dread, no fear, and everything was so quiet. When they disappeared after maybe 10 seconds, I kept staring, waiting for something to happen because I was still dreaming. Then my cat moved on my bed and my eyes focused. I realized I was wide awake, staring at my room. I want to repeat, my apartment was so incredibly quiet, eerily quiet. I laid there realizing I'd definitely seen those people there that weren't people watching me sleep right in my face. And now I'm questioning everything she's told me. I see faces watching me in the dark. I can't see their body. I can't really see their face, just their eyes. I can't see their hair. They're bald. They don't say anything. They just stare. And something that hit home was they move. They don't move towards me. They just move. They look like sketches. They aren't human. Seriously, help. I'm not religious. I don't believe in spirits, but this was odd, seriously strange, and the air in my room, my entire apartment was so off. My cats were acting weird. I'm scared to go to sleep. I was already having trouble with nightmares, and I have to worry about if something is watching me in my sleep, and worse, my daughter while awake. My only immediate note right now is that he admits to being in a hypnagogic state. His daughter has told him this fucking eerie story, right? I wake up from a nightmare to my pitch black room. I thought I was still dreaming. I saw these faces. And then the cat moves and his eyes focus. He snaps out of his hypnagogic state. It is possible he was still dreaming. It's my only note right now. I dreamed as best I could, but honestly felt uncomfortable even drawing them because the whole concept that these things could actually be watching us while we sleep or hanging out in her room when it's dark is scary. My daughter is 9 and is very illogical. She loves science. She doesn't believe in ghosts or monsters, so she was super shaken and literally. So I think I've talked about my shadow people shit in the past on this show or maybe on the podcast somewhere else. Except for the description of the entity is similar to my childhood experiences. Interesting. I definitely saw them and was not experiencing sleep paralysis. I'm terrified at the possibility that I might have seen them even if my light was on. There was one time this month my daughter was screaming bloody murder and I had to run in because she had seen something watching in the dark, but she was too scared to move. We've both been having pretty terrible nightmares, but she's also seen these while wide awake to the point we never have her room dark and always have nightlights on. I usually also sleep with some sort of light on, and when I went to sleep last night, I had a random thought about how dark it was. It was sort of eerie. I would also say, and this is not me shitting on them or being derogatory or rude, check your carbon monoxide detector. Look for a gas leak. Honestly. You would be surprised how often that tends to be the case. Also, if you're near any like ULF causing things, ultra low frequency road work, or maybe electrical problems can cause it. They can literally cause you to hallucinate and become paranoid and frightened. What's it called? The ghost sound? Shit. There's a very specific ULF ultra low frequency sound. And I believe it's on YouTube, and I believe it's people just called it the ghost sound because it makes you literally see things and become frightened just by listening to it. And this sound can occur naturally. And I'm wondering if that's what's going on. Jesus Christ, I used to have a hallucination of a clown crouching behind my toy box when I was a kid that would just stare at me. It was going on for so long. Instead of getting me help, my mom just made me scared of spirits and aliens. Ooh. We both have visual sense, like we see flashlights in the dark, can make patterns. Oh, that happens to me too. Fucking, okay. Visual stuff could be a symptom of silent migraines. Basically, a migraine that presents with symptoms besides pain. Sensitivity to light, which I do have. I'm fucking WebMDing my shit right now. I don't know. That's eerie. That's eerie. Good luck, y'all. All right. Back to we should listen to other countries. So the Ukrainian report came out, and it was talking about various types of observations they made, various objects, that sort of thing, and a fucking lot of people, Avi Loeb specifically, was like, y'all are just seeing rockets. It's a war zone. Obviously. Oh, duh. The Ukrainian UAP paper reported an object tracked simultaneously by two observatories 120 kilometers apart, going 631,000 miles per hour, pulsating with light 20 times per second. This is from user Benjamin075. I was taking a closer look at the Ukrainian UAP paper, and this is what stands out to me in figures 21 to 23. They saw the object using two different observatories spaced 120 kilometers apart. Therefore, the object was not a bug, and they had the ability to accurately estimate the altitude and speed of 282 kilometers a second. In addition to that, the object is regularly pulsating with light for 1/100th of a second every 20th of a second. Does anyone know of any conventional object or atmospheric phenomena that goes through the sky pulsating like that? If I missed it in other discussions, I apologize. I am a scientist but not an astronomer, so I'm out of my element here. Did Avi Loeb address the issue of the pulsating object? Alright, I'm not going to get to... I went through all these comments when I was looking at this, and I suggest that you follow the link in the description. Basically, the people in this thread, for the most part, are saying, yeah, the Ukrainian report and the newest paper, the second Ukrainian report, are full of these incredible fucking things that cannot be so easily disregarded by people like Avi Loeb. Again, I say, why is Avi Loeb taking this total different direction than he was before? Why is everybody taking a different direction than they were a year ago? Read that paper. Read this discussion if you're not into it. It's pretty clear. They're not rockets. They're not missiles. Fascinating. Anyway, moving on to Friday. So on Friday, the first thing I saw when I woke up in the morning was, because I usually do a lot of my research first thing in the morning, scrolling Reddit. I saw this picture, and I think I've seen this before, and I'm sure maybe you might have also. I'm sure you know this pyramid. Well, this is what it looked like about 130 years ago. Exactly 130 years ago. Just a fucking hill with trees and a little building on top. And then they were able to clear it all out, and this is what they fucking found underneath it. Look at that. Look at the difference. This isn't breaking news or anything. I think it's fascinating to look at this. This is what all of those complexes look like. Just covered in trees and bullshit. And people would just walk right by them. And this is what's underneath them. Now, the fascinating part now, we have LiDAR, ground penetrating radar, basically. And they're discovering things in the Amazon and Sahara now. Thousands of settlements and structures and buildings spread all across these great vast distances in the Amazon and the Sahara that we had no fucking idea about until literally like a couple of years ago. At best, we're finding shit right now, right this second. We're discovering shit under the sand, under the trees. We have such a massive history behind us, and we just don't really know shit. There are plenty of tales of explorers in South America who would walk 10 feet away from things like this and then be like, oh, holy shit, there's a huge ass pyramid here. I love it. I love it. It's fascinating. I love the idea that despite all of our stomping around and acting like fucking gods, we really don't have any idea what's right below our feet. It's beautiful. And this picture represents that feeling a little bit to me. All right, back to Ontario, Canada, and back to another Sasquatch. I told you I had a lot of Sasquatch shit this week. Bigfoot sighting in Ontario, Canada.
Sightings in this wild, remote area. Recently, we have seen a lot of photos and videos of Bigfoot in the area. Here is one of the latest Bigfoot sightings captured by some boaters. I'll play it through and then I'll zoom in on the subject and then play it again at full speed and then slow it down so that we can get a better look at the Sasquatch-like subject on video. It appears the boaters are going closer to land to get a better look at what they just saw. When I replay this again, I want you to notice the camouflage color of the Bigfoot, the grass and the foliage on the ground. It's nearly the same color. Here's the original again. I'm going to play it forward and backwards for you, and then I'm going to zoom in on it. Here's the zoomed at normal speed, forwards and backwards. I didn't want to zoom too much. I didn't want it to get too pixelated. That thing is the same color as the undergrowth. If it laid down, you probably would not be able to see it unless you knew it was there. Just amazing camouflage, great color for the environment. I'm going to play the normal clip again, and then the zoomed and the slowed again, so that you guys can check out the subject. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot. It just looks like Bigfoot. I think it walks really fluidly. If someone set this up, it looks like they would have practiced, because the fluidity.
It's hard to not just see a man in a suit.
Have you ever seen such a useful mini chainsaw? If you haven't bought it yet, please take 2 minutes from.
Get out of here. Shut the fuck up. It's hard for me to not see a man in a suit. And I suppose I'll always be thinking that, even if I ever do have a fucking Sasquatch encounter. Which, God, Jesus Christ, I hope not. Because I will literally shit my pants and kill myself. So I hope that never happens. So I don't know what to think about it, but I did swing on over to Para Breakdown, who's they're a fun little debunking channel. I don't always agree with Para Breakdown, but it's good to get a different perspective on things. You should always be looking at things from as many sides as possible and form your own conclusions. So here's Para Breakdown's take on it.
Here's the zoomed at normal speed, forwards and backwards. I didn't want to zoom too much. I didn't want it to get too pixelated.
Hi there, folks. Long time no see. I just had to come back briefly to address this video that was uploaded by Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. The ones who was said to have captured this video called themselves Ontario Boaters. I don't fault them for hiding their real names.
I do want to point out, though, that I don't see anything that connects the channel to Ontario Boaters. They're just saying, as far as I remember, they said that was just a video that came out of Ontario. I could be wrong. I just haven't seen anything that links them directly.
I would too after viewing this. Now, RMS reports this as a Sasquatch sighting.
Here is one of the latest Bigfoot sightings captured by some boaters.
even though he didn't say it was a Bigfoot.
I'm not saying it's Bigfoot.
Although he said it was a Sasquatch sighting.
Here is one of the latest Bigfoot sightings captured by some boaters.
Let's continue.
It appears the boaters are going closer to land to get a better...
We also have to admit he's being a little nitpicky here, right?
Look at what they just saw.
Even though they didn't see it previously.
But we don't know that. They might have seen it, then taken their camera out.
They just decided to randomly record the trees as they were sailing by for no apparent reason. It wasn't until they came close to shore, aiming the camera at this spot, that the Bigfoot-looking thingy made its appearance. Was this Bigfoot waiting for him? Odd behavior for a squatch. It was also very clever in camouflaging itself.
So I think that, like, I don't know if Para Breakdown's being, like, when do you see something? If you were to see Sasquatch on the shore, if you're not filming, right? Or anything. You see your friend on the shore you haven't seen in 10 years and you want to take a picture. You see them first. Then maybe they're walking through the trees. And you're like, fuck, I gotta get my camera. And then you have your camera out and they walk through the trees, right? Like this is a plausible thing. I'm not going too far out on a limb, am I?
When I replay this again, I want you to notice the camouflage color of the Bigfoot. The grass and the foliage on the ground, it's nearly the same color. If it laid down, you probably would not be able to see it unless you knew it was there. Just amazing camouflage, great color for the environment.
Great camouflage, especially if its surroundings was a costume shop on 4th Avenue in downtown Portland.
It just looks like Bigfoot. I think it walks really fluidly. If someone set this up, it looks like they would have practiced because the fluidity that it moves reminds me of Patty.
What the hell does that even mean? Fluid? Like smooth? Maybe it was gliding along like a cool mountain stream?
Here's the zoomed at normal.
I honestly feel like Para Breakdown's just making fun of it without really coming at it from any skeptical points.
Speed forwards and backwards. I didn't want to zoom too much.
I'm not shitting on Para Breakdown though. I want to be clear about that. Like, I generally appreciate Para Breakdown's videos, because and there's definitely times where I change my mind on something because of a point Para Breakdown makes, but I don't feel like Para Breakdown's making any points here.
I didn't want it to get too pixelated.
Well, okay. I guess I will, and try to stabilize it too. Wow, look how fluid it moves. Like it was ice skating over dry ground.
See, it's...
Fortunately, no one was saying it was a Bigfoot.
I'm not saying it's Bigfoot.
And thanks for watching.
So, I don't know. I was hoping that Para Breakdown would give me something better. I will say that it looks like this guy is having trouble walking.
Wow, look how fluid it moves. Like it was...
That's my criticism of it. Who knows? Which I'm just surprised Para Breakdown didn't pick up on. Alright, moving on to the last day of the week. It's motherfucking Saturday. I'm gonna skip over, so it's almost 10 o'clock. Jesus Christ, I've been going for a little while. Saturday! My note just says Factotum. That was this morning, and I made this joke because of a Charles Bukowski book about work sucks. Like most of his books. I used to work at a meatpacking plant where they drove pallet drivers. During a weekend that we had off, this happened.
Not yet.
I'm sure they make electric ones, right? Remote ones? Is that possible? I'm sure they do, right? I mean, that pumping is something. This also gets pumped.
Not yet.
I don't know. Let's check the comments. It's not unknown for pallet jacks like that to go off like that. Sticky handles, bad wiring, or just a mechanical failure. It happens. That's why you park them in proper areas and not just in the middle of the yard. I guess. I mean, I've worked warehouses and it's... Okay. I'm an MHE mechanic. I work on these every day, and I can assure you that yes, a wiring issue can certainly cause a jack to drive on its own, but definitely would not cause the tiller to come up and down like that. There is no mechanical explanation that could cause what we see in this video. The video seems edited. The white cloth is moving. The white cloth is moving. I will give them that. That is true. It does move. Yeah, I don't know.
Not yet.
Like this, like moves.
Not yet.
Thoughts? Comments? I don't know. All right. Also on Saturday, my note just says easily disproven. We'll see. I've had a long day, so look at the door handle after the second jump. This happened while I was alone in the house. I checked the room after the video and nobody there. Okay, cat jumps up. Second jump is when something happens. Jump. All right, so it does look like it was like forced a little bit. Here's my thought, okay? Nothing. The second jump, the door, all right, you have your little door thing, and it like attaches to the, this is your little clicky thing. When you turn the handle, it like goes in, okay? I assume you know what I'm talking about. And then here's your, when a door loves a doorway, and that locks in there. So when the cat hit it the second time, I think maybe it like partially went in, and maybe the door opened a little bit, and you can see it opens a smidge, and then it like jumps open, and I think that's because this little spring-loaded little nubbin pushed back and shot the door. All right, and so it's ready, open, partially open, and the spring pushes it out. I think that's what happens. All right, moving on. We're almost done. This is a topic I've been interested in for a little while. I've been following it sort of closely. It ties in with a lot of other things that I've been looking into the last couple of years. A new popular opinion is that the richat structure is Atlantis. The richat structure was once a significant port on the African coastline. Atlantis is not a made-up story. New plate tectonics evidence shows. I'm not going to get super into that. This is the richat structure in Africa. But what I will do, and I do, if there was ever such a place, I feel like the richat structure is the best guess at what and where it was. But what I will say is you should watch this video if you are at all interested. This is a channel called Bright Insight. Jimmy.
Dialpad's AI sales has completely transformed how we sell. AI is built right in with life coaching.
This dude's name is Jimmy. He is. This actually isn't even the video I wanted to show you. Jimmy does a lot.
Do you remember back in school?
Shut up, Jimmy. Does a lot of great work with just researching shit like this. Megastructures and all this sort of stuff. However, This video here, I believe, is the one
There-
I first saw from him, where he talks about the richat structure and why it is most likely the site of what may or may not be Atlantis. I feel like even saying the word Atlantis lands you in people's loony bin. I feel like those people need to read more books. So anyway, I've linked to his channel in the show notes. You should kill 20 minutes. The next time you eat 3 hot dogs and you want to watch TV, go watch Jimmy's videos on this. This one is a great one. He has a couple of other ones that relate to it. He has some other stuff that he has, and some opinions that I don't particularly endorse or agree with, but that's neither here nor there. Check out Bright Insight. I really love the work he's doing, for the most part. But I really do. He has convinced me on the richat structure. All right. Last thing on Saturday. This is from the Daily Star. Nuclear submarine buzzed by underwater object traveling faster than the speed of sound. This actually happened in the late 1990s, but apparently there was a whistleblower who talks about it. It's a great little report about a USO, an unidentified submerged object. It's cool. It's nice to see in the paper, even if it's the fucking Daily Star, which I guess is no better than the Weekly World News with Bat Boy and all that shit, but still nice to see it in the paper. It's just nice to end the show with something fun. Oh, speaking of fun, this week, because I haven't for the last couple of weeks, I've got paranormal goofy shit. Let's get the graphic up. Come on. Come on. Bum, 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 bum. Not much of a graphic. Remember my old one? They used to cover up the full screen. There was like music. Yeah, I'd like to do that too. You may have seen this picture. Of course it's Sasquatch, because it seems like all paranormal goofy shit is Sasquatch related. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna let you soak this in for a minute. So anyway, that's our show. Bit of a long one. Thank you for hanging out with me. Except for the sex bots in chat. What can you do though, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll turn the chat off. I always have to fucking ban these things. I really cannot suggest watching more some of Jimmy's videos, the Bright Insight. Maybe we'll watch them together at some point if I feel like it. I don't really have much for you. I've been thinking about a bunch of plans I want to do, but I'm so fucking soaked in my work life and some difficult life situations that I just can't focus on anything. I have a band and like the outside projects that I have to do, and I'm just exhausted all the fucking time. I don't know. Anyway, I'm Mason Morris. This has been Weird Week Live. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope to see you again soon, and I hope that I don't fucking damage my eye anymore, because even though these look cool as hell, I shouldn't be wearing them all the time. Goodbye.